weekend, yesterday, I think also, I gave this exercise about this, this buzz, this humming. And,
yes.
And I really would like to encourage people to really participate in that for themselves. Because through this simple exercise, you can gain everything you'll find through books. You'll find the essence of that in that simple exercise. When it is fully participated in like that, it becomes very, very clear that everything is in that buzz. All that you call your life is just only the buzz. You see? All that you call your life is only the buzz. What you think, what your plans about tomorrow, your beliefs, your experiences, everything is the buzz. Have we come into the field of being as yet? Consciously. And how easy in that exercise it somehow conveys somehow the simplicity of being. And what I wanted is for people to just be aware, because like we were talking, I think with Radha, she was also saying, but I see now everything is buzz, everything. My breath, my thought, my life, my practice, meditation, everything is still the buzz. And everybody's talking about the buzz. And their talking is the buzz. And talking about coming out of the buzz is the buzz. And everything is inside the buzz. I said, do you begin to understand what I'm speaking now? People are asking questions, yes, but when I do this technique and so on, so it's buzz. Then you're frustrated, you say, oh, I'm so frustrated, because I don't know what else to ask. That is also buzz. But it is at least something coming to the very edge of it. Then what can I do? Nothing. What can you do? You are who? You are also the buzz. But there is something beyond that buzz, which is right here. Beyond intimacy, it is right here. Before you call your name, before you say I, it is there. And it is not touched, it is not corrupted. And it only awaits recognition. It is not waiting to be recognized, but it is to be recognized. Because when you really recognize it, not just as a novelty, but really recognize and acknowledge and verify that against all the movements, this is the stillness itself. And it's not reacting to noise. It doesn't react to the noise, to the buzz of the dynamic manifestation. It's not reacting, it's not affected at all. Because even if the buzz changes from it makes no difference to that space. And yet the buzz cannot happen without that space. But that space is there without the buzz, or with the buzz. And it has to communicate something to the psyche in the deep part of the human spirit. That understanding has to somehow detonate. It has to happen. Because after this, you cannot be the same as before. Your experience will confront you and say, look, you are just buzzing about again. And who are you? Even you who are buzzing is not you. We like to think of ourselves more aligned with movement than with stillness. But these are just also thought. The identity is also thought. There is a stillness that is there. It is not the stillness that we can learn. It's not like trying to be still. This stillness you can only discover, you cannot do. And when you discover it, actually, it's nothing like you can imagine. This is the power of the God Self. Out of it, all this universe is coming and playing. And even the perceiving of the universe also is an occurrence in that. These things, when I speak with them, I don't want people to come, with very sophisticated minds, because they won't understand what I'm speaking. A simple person will understand. Even sometimes children will understand what I'm speaking. Because I'm not speaking about for you to learn, I'm speaking for you to discover. And when that discovery takes place, it's like we have this thing in this country. I discovered when I used to work a lot with wood, and we'd go to a wood yard, and you can ask for this timber that's called talonized timber. This is timber just like any other wood. It is like any other wood. But what happened is that they had a process of treating the wood, where they put the wood inside a big drum. All this wood, a big huge drum. And then they suck. They just suck. They create a vacuum inside and they suck. They release it. And then all the moisture from the wood just gets sucked out. So can you imagine if it was a human being, you just shrink up to all the moisture is sucked out. And then on the other end is released this treatment that then goes all the way through the wood and replaces where the old moisture used to be. Replaces with that treatment, and it's called talonization. And when I saw that, I saw a great truth in that. It is as though you become talonized with the truth. You understand? It's like all your nonsense gets sucked out and something gets in. It's not you get replaced, but the idea we have about ourselves and our life and all of this kind of stuff just gets washed out, and it's replaced by this, talonized by space, by the God self. We have to be willing to be talonized, because that wood which is talonized now, it won't rot. Every other wood, it carries all that organic potential to decay, which is fine, because this is not an example about wood. But this will not rot now. In the same way, your mind can never decay now, once you've understood this. It cannot decay. It cannot be destroyed in the negative sense. It is like it becomes natural and pure.
Because the mind itself is not the problem, no?
The mind cannot exist without you. It cannot exist without you. But you can exist without the mind. What we call the mind. When people talk about my mind, they're not talking about their practical mind. They're talking about their identity. The mind in the aspect of identity, of psychological thinking. That's what they're troubled by.
I'm a psychologist myself.
You are a psychologist.
It's my fortune, I think. It's like that.
Then you have to go beyond psychology. You have to go beyond, gender. You go beyond race. Go beyond religious conditioning, social conditioning, egoic conditioning. All of that is the buzz.
Yeah.
The deeper is deeper this way. It's not in any direction you have to go. The deeper is the depth of subtlety. Because why this action has to take place is that an action originally, it seems, went out and hasn't returned. An action went out, seemingly, in the play of life. It seems like the action went out towards the senses and the mind. And it didn't really come back. The realization of the self or awakening is it coming back. It's coming back to the origin. And truth has to be something original, not that original meaning new, but original meaning before new and old. Meaning that which is fundamental, but not fundamentalist, but fundamental. Like this. But once we took the shape of our conditioning, we have strong identification with our learning and strong attachment also. And in the same way, you cannot go and swim in the ocean while sitting in your submarine. You cannot be swimming. You're underneath the ocean, everything is there, but you cannot swim because you're inside your bubble. You cannot know the truth while you're sitting inside the bubble of your own self-identity. It's like that. And yet these things, it's nothing actually. But like everything else, it becomes something if you think it is something. This is the power of the universe is in thought. Think this is a big deal, it becomes a big deal. We think our life is so important and so on and so on. So it seems like it's so important. It's full of such value, and so it becomes full of value. Another one puts the value on something else, not on events. There are some beings who don't put any value on events. In fact, they don't see any event. They don't see anything as an event. An event is itself another creation of mind. They see like this. They're just the natural movement of the universe. But they don't see it as an event. They see events as a kind of personal concoction. When the mind says something has happened and this is important, then something registers that as being important. But there are beings who don't recognize these things as important. Just like ourselves, in fact, there are all of us experience things which to other people are important, but for you it's nothing at all. So if each one experiences at some point, something which most people think are important, but to them it's not important, we could go around and find that actually, if it worked like that, actually maybe at some point, every single thing in this universe is seen by every single person in this universe as not being anything at all, collectively. But individually, it feels, yeah, that is nothing, but this is something. But anyway, even talking like this, I don't know how much help it is, because, we can talk like that and not move inwardly at all. Only the ones who somehow, they're just ready to jump in the fire. It's like they've made a big bonfire, a big bonfire of all their ideas about themselves, and they're striking the match. They're striking something to start the fire, and it's not coming. They just want to burn it. But this is a very rare human being, and these are very rare things for human beings to speak about, because mostly we're invested in the buzz. The buzz is always moving, but we're always invested in the buzz, like it is something fixed, and that. But few will see it like that.
My own experience is that a few years ago I was very fascinated for this, and I wanted to go, and it didn't work out.
Yes.
So then I left. I leave it like it comes.
Yes.
It's not a decision of me. I feel that.
You're true. If it comes from the mind, because if somebody feels, I want this, I want this something,
yes.
But it's not a true desire. It's not a true thing.
It's more forceful.
It's more something to do with maybe, I don't know, trying to escape, like some people, their relationship break up and they go to spirituality and I've got to, that's all I want, and I say it's not true.
No.
One guy came also after satsang here in Battersea, and he says, I just want Mooji. All I want is this. I don't want to come back to have another satsang with you. I said, that's a bit ungracious. Because I would never have felt like this about my master, said to Papaji, I don't want to ever have to come and sit in front of you anymore. I said, this is a bit arrogant. Something is not right about it. What is so desperate?
Yes.
Don't be so desperate.
It has to be well.
Yeah, and I just want, it's like, just help me to not need you.
Yes.
You don't have to need me. So I said, no, I don't. At first, something inside is like a motherly response for me. Someone says, please, I say, yes, what is it? There is an etiquette somehow in existence. And, your vibration is not correct somehow about it. So that can be a progress that you gave that up. Because you cannot muscle your way into the truth.
And also when I'm too easy with it, it's not good as well.
Yes. All is important is to find out who you are.
Yeah.
Even say, try and find the truth. No, forget about the truth for the moment. Just find out who you are. If you find out who you are, if you really find out, you'll know what the truth is. You'll find the truth. If you find out who the one inside who is desperate, I got to do this. If you really identify and clarify and verify what this one is, you'll be free. That's all I say to people. I stand completely with my words. Because I say I want to find the truth. I don't know what is your concept about truth. Maybe you want the truth because you think if you have the truth, it will be to your benefit. I say, who are you? Can you find the truth and be the finder of truth? No, you cannot. When you find the truth, as I said before, the one who begins the inquiry will not finish the inquiry. They will be finished by the inquiry.
Yes.
So you won't be there. There will be no victor saying, "Yay, Eureka, I got it." No, that one is not. This one will be transcended. You see. So these are things that normally, when you go into truthful inquiry and truthful examination of the truth, all our bad habits, all our conditionings gets confronted, because you want things your way. I say, well, who are you? Because you believe that the one who is saying, I want to be free, is the real thing. And I'll tell you, it is not the real thing. It's an urge that comes from the real in the play, in the dynamic play of existence. It comes like that.